Classic rock from the Eagles on LoneStar 92.5. It's Jeff K. live from Bo and Jim Bash 5, Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie. And what do you know? Joining me now, former member of the Eagles, the legendary four-time Grammy Award winner, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, multi-platinum selling artist, and New York Times best-selling author. What haven't you done, Don Felder?
Well, I haven't played here in Dallas or Grand Prairie as much as I would like to. I played here a lot.
Yeah.
We played here in 2014 with Foreigner and Styx, and I played here last year with the Doobies, and it's just great to be back in this part of Texas. I love it here.
Well, we couldn't be happier to have you as a part of this show for us this year. You know, in kind of reviewing what it is that you've done post-Eagles, it's really impressive. You've really managed to kind of not just be pigeoned as the former Eagles guitarist Don Felder. Is that important to you?
Well, you know, that's a history I can't erase, and as a matter of fact, a history that I'm extremely proud of. We, together as a band, wrote and recorded some amazing records, toured all over the world, spent 27 years of my life working with those guys on and off the road in the studios, and just, you know, it's a part of my life and my history that I'm very proud of. So what happens post-Eagles, you know, was, there was a point where I really had to decide, do I want to continue in the music business? I was almost ready to retire until I spent 10 days in a row on the golf course, and I said, there's more to life than chasing this white ball around the golf course. I just can't do this. And I went back and started putting together a band and playing charity benefits just for, you know, to get out and play and raise money for Autism Speaks and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And I had so much fun doing that. I said, you know, I would think this is a lot of fun, and I should go out and play some shows live. And so that's what we're doing.
No, it's Don Felder. You're going to see him live on stage, 8 o'clock tonight. You know, I kind of took a sneak peek at your most recent set list, the end of May, okay? And not to give away too many spoilers, but it's almost like an Eagles' greatest hits set, sprinkled in with one of my personal favorites, heavy metal, which that's, I mean, I was in high school and I snuck out to see that movie several times. But you really, you know, you're playing all the hits tonight. It's really exciting to. If people are still thinking, well, what's Don going to play? He's going to go out on a limb. He's not going to do my favorite songs. That's not true, is it?
Well, you know, a lot of artists don't go out and play their hits, and the audience is like, wait a minute, you've got to play these songs that we know and love. So I feel that I was such a part of almost every song that's on that set list that either I wrote, recorded, played it live, recorded it live, Hell Freezes Over, something that,
right.
You know, like I said, it's a big part of my life, and that's what people know the Eagles as, and my participation in the Eagles. Like I said, we do heavy metal and a couple of other solo things that we throw in when we have the time, and it's just a lot of fun. Everybody knows every word to every song in the set list, and by the end of the night, they're all up dancing and having a great time, starting with usually like The Long Run and Life in the Fast Lane and Heartache Tonight, and Take It Easy, and then Hotel. Everybody's got their cell phone out taking a video of Hotel.
Does that bother you? Are you one of the artists that's kind of put out by the technology?
No, actually, on occasion, I'll take out a camera and take a selfie of myself with the room, and it'll get posted on Facebook or Twitter or something. Everybody can go tag themselves on my Facebook page. So I don't object to that at all.
Oh, that's good. It's Don Felder. Can we talk a little bit about Glenn Frey for a second? Do you mind?
Sure.
All right. So it's obviously No Love Lost. You know, you had history with Glenn Frey. We lost Glenn in January, and I know that you were quoted as saying that was... you were devastated by that news. Did it in some way bring you at all closer to the other surviving members? Have you healed any of the wounds with any of those guys?
You know, Glenn's passing caught me completely unexpected. I had no idea. I knew he was in having a procedure, which he had had twice before, once in the 70s and once in the 90s. And by 3 weeks, a month later, he was back out and on the road. And so it wasn't a real kind of, you know, lethal procedure by any means. But when I heard that he had passed, it completely shocked me. It just caught me blindsided. I had no idea. And it really gave me a lot of pause to think about all the time we had spent together. I had reached out numerous times to everybody in the band, Don and Glenn and everybody else, since I departed the band to try to make just restitution, shake hands, brotherly love. We did a lot of great things together. I don't necessarily want to be back in the band, but, you know, there's no sense in carrying this stuff around like that kind of dark stuff. And really, the only response I ever got was from their attorneys. And I realized, okay, that's not something they're interested in. So I really wish, amongst everything, that I would have had the chance to have a lunch with Glenn or a dinner with Glenn and just heal that acronym that was going on. It's just not a healthy thing for anybody to have. So I regret that didn't happen.
You and Randy Meisner, though, have stayed close, right?
Yeah, Bernie and I and Randy and I. Bernie actually called me the other day, said, I was the only guy that quit this band twice. Once in like 75, and then they were getting ready to go back out and do a whole bunch more shows that Glenn was kind of insistent on doing. And Bernie said, look, I can't do this. It's just too much hard work for me. I need to go to Hawaii and chill. And she said, thank you for the offer to include me, but I'm retiring. I'm just going to stop. And so after Glenn passed, when he and I spoke, he said, I'm the only guy that's quit the band twice.
Right.
And Randy and I stay very close too, yeah. So.
All right. One final question for the great Don Felder. It's kind of all in the family now. Your daughter Leah is in a band, and somehow you got roped into this whole Kardashians thing. Tell us a little bit about, because your daughter is in the band with
Brandon Jenner,
which is the son of Bruce now
Jenner,
Caitlyn.
Yes.
And you were actually in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Well, Leah did not want to be known as a reality star. She was asked to be on The Hills. I don't know if you remember that episode.
Show,
yeah. And she said, I just don't want to be on that show because I don't want to be known as a reality star. I want to be known as a musician and a singer and a writer. So they kept asking her and Brandon to be on the Kardashians, and she said, I don't want to do this. I said, look, they have 10 million viewers a week on every episode. If you can appear on that and present your music, present yourself as a musician, and people get to know you as a musician, then it's worth going on the show because you're actually advertising yourself for who you are.
Right.
And so they, Brandon and Leah finished their CD, released it, had the CD release party on this building on the top of Sunset. All the Kardashians came, Bruce came, David Foster, who's Brandon's stepdad, came, and I was there. We were just giving it a great launch party, and they filmed it and put it on the show. And after their release, all the girls, the Kardashian girls, started tweeting, oh, my brother-in-law and sister are like having, a CD release, and it went to number 3 on iTunes the next week. Just blew up because of that. So Leah came to me a couple of weeks later and said, they want you on the show. I said, no, I don't. There's nothing. No, they want you to come on the show and let us reenact me telling you about not wanting to be on the show.
Tell me it's all prearranged?
Yes, and me giving her the advice to use the show to advertise her music. And so I went on the show that one and only time and had lunch with my daughter and told her the same advice I'd given her years before.
Well, good for you. That's good advice coming from a guy that's not just a dad, but the great Don Felder. Don, we can't thank you enough for your time visiting with us today, and it really means a lot that you're a part of the Bo and Jim Bash this year. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to be here, man. Thanks.
All right, great Don Felder on stage at 8 o'clock tonight.